We back.
Yeah.
I was telling Jay off mic, taking these weeks off have been beautiful for me because in the back of my mind, I'm like, this retirement's gonna be fun. Flip it up forward. There you go. Forward. More. There we go. Right there. You can leave it just like that. You perfect.
Like that?
Yep. There
like
you go.
Like this and like that and like this and that.
So anyway, we were talking. So Mother's Day passed. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, Jay included. Happy birthday to Jay also. That's happened in the last couple of weeks. I sent her a message. And you know, it was funny because like I told myself in the morning, I was like, it's her birthday. Hit her up, send her a message. It was in the middle of the week when all the kids had shit to do. And then by the time I looked up, my wife was like, you know, it's Jay's birthday. I said, yeah. Oh, I didn't send the message. And so, no. Did I text you in the morning?
You text me pretty like early on the same day of my birthday.
Okay, then maybe she said the day. It was the day before. She said tomorrow's her birthday, and I had said to myself earlier today, get it all ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I sent that out, and good. Like I was like, she's just as bad as at texting me back as I am at texting her.
Yeah.
So then that's cool, because in my mind, when I'm bad at texting back, I'd be like, damn, I hope somebody's not waiting on my message on the other end.
Yeah.
So like, because I'm good for old school shit where I'll drop my phone somewhere and just like at practice, I don't keep my phone on me.
Yeah, no.
So, and I'd be afraid, like if my mom called me or something, like hopefully that somebody's there to tell me, like if something happens, because I try to give 100% of my time in the shit. But anyway.
Me too. Present.
Happy birthday to Jay. She's going to tell us about that on the top of the episode.
Yeah.
And then I bought my wife a car, right?
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to wifey.
And so the cool thing is, though, is that...
And shout out on the new car.
I said that, and it seems like, oh, here they go, buying another car again.
Rich people
bougie ass, rich people shit. But the thing is, I honestly think that my wife's car is about to break down.
No, she deserves it.
Yeah.
And it was like a combination of, the car was about to go. It was time to get something new. And as you said, she had never had like a brand new car. And even then, didn't you end up buying used?
No, I bought a brand new one out the gate.
Brand new off the lot.
Well, see, here's my logic, right?
Yeah, I've never, as someone who's also never had a brand new car off the lot, like that's the dream, you know.
And we've talked about it, so like, okay, so let's get into this.
And I'm a car person. I love cars.
I love them too, and I prefer used cars.
Yeah.
But given our political climate right now, I'm like, fam, I'd rather just have a warranty, because they're talking about, I did a lot of reading, and there's a pause on the tariffs right now, but if the tariffs hit, you're going to have a 25% increase on brand new vehicles and possibly parts.
Damn.
And so, like, if you're looking at, like, let's say a $30,000 car, you're probably going to pay an extra $6 or $7 on top with the tariffs.
For basic stock.
For basic whatever. Stock, anything, BMWs, it don't matter what it is. You pay, and then let's say if you go in and you fix, like, let's say you got to go fix your engine.
Yeah.
A part that's only $500, 25% on that is probably like an extra another $75, $80, $100 plus labor and all that. So I was like, damn, she took her car in 3 times. They were like, look, your engine might be on its way out. And it was like, the shit's like the doctor, right? Like they can't tell you what's wrong with it until it's wrong, right? And but her oil kept being low. So I was like, man, that's a sign. Like they keep telling us no. I said it could be a hose leak. Like everything in me in terms of having used vehicles before started clicking, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that during here. So we went to Hyundai. We bought her a Palisade. It's a bigger car, but I only went to Hyundai because I know all cars break down, but I need the 10-year, $100,000 warranty, or 100-mile warranty.
Yeah, it's great.
You know what I mean?
Deal.
So, like, her shit, the warranty was gone. My Tesla, technically, even though it's fuck Elon, the warranty was gone. So, it's like, you buy these expensive-ass cars, but then when you ain't got the warranty, it's like, I ain't got the money to pay for this shit.
And then when shit goes down. I mean, I was just telling you, I just spent $700 in repairs.
That hurt my soul to hear you say that.
On my car, and I probably got at least another $700 worth of repairs to do. What I will say is, you know, the truck I drive, it was given to me by my grandparents after my grandfather passed away, and they were the original. They bought it brand new off the lot.
What did you have before that? I never asked you that.
I had I bought used off the lot, a Ford Fiesta, little hatchback.
Oh, you can do that with that.
Me and my husband, we had there was a period where he had when we were married, we had a Mini Cooper convertible ragtop. I used to love, and he put a muffler on there. Oh, I would be whipping it. People would tell me, like, people would hit me up online and be like, that's when had my hair bald, but it was like bright orange, bright pink. That's when I was living my best life, man. I would go whipping down.
What happened to it, though?
We became homeless and had to sell it for $600 fucking dollars.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How much was it worth?
At that point, it was probably only worth maybe like
listen. Now I know. How much?
Like 3 G's. Maybe
you don't feel like you could have got that, and you just
not when you're homeless and desperate, and it needed some work. We had spent like $600 on it. It had gotten towed. We had just had to get the money towed. It was it was costing us more than we could afford to deal with it, and then we just needed the money.
How does that conversation work though? Like, do you remember like when it was like, yo, we gotta sell this?
Yeah, we were bummed because we at that point we had already been living in the car.
Yeah.
So we were like parking both of them like in the Walmart parking lot or like in the little residential streets, and we were both sleeping in the Fiesta still, but we didn't want to sell it. I loved that car. I wanted to keep it. But, it just got to the point where we could not afford to keep it, and we had to go pick it up from the same shop I went to get my car fixed. I like this guy. I go to him a lot. Shout out to Charles off of University in San Diego.
Charles, I told you earlier when you brought up. Charles smokes cigarettes? I
don't know, but he's this old black man. Him and his brother. They're funny. They're cool, though. They're good people. I trust them.
Where'd you meet Charles at?
He's actually a referral through my dad, my dad's best friend, Joey, who does, stuff. So
it's hard to find a good mechanic.
It
is,
and someone who's not going to, but still, when I looked at the actual parts, it was like $220 maybe, and the labor itself was like $480, $460. I was like, good Lord, I need to go to mechanic school. But you know what he did tell me? He said, your engine is good. He was like, this engine is good. Oh, and the original owners were my grandparents. So I feel a little, and my grandfather kept things in pristine. So, I feel like it's still worth it. And for me to fix it up and keep it until the engine's done.
You got a car note though, right? Financial sense wise, like you, if you ain't got a car note, and your shit working, that's a win.
And the engine's not a bust.
Yeah. For me, like I still had a car note. She still had a car note. It was like 2 or 3 years left. I'm like, fam, like you, like when we first met, she had a Nissan Sentra.
Okay.
Like, man, we're a family of 4 now. I'm
Coming
big.
On it.
Your dad is 6 feet. Your brother's 6 feet.
The captain seats are nice.
She ain't had that before though.
That's
we had to fold that shit down before and jump in the back, and then only they could fit in there. You wear a size 12, she was over. You know.
That's what I'm saying. She had her struggle days.
Yeah, and I bought her shit. How can I tell the story? I can't tell it.
Yeah, why'd you get your new nicer car before she got her new nicer car?
Because mine was getting ready to drop in value faster.
Okay.
Because I couldn't. I watched it for like the last year, and I watched hers. The funny part is that I think in the last 3 months, when they told us how much they would trade in her car for, she just made it to where they would pay. Like we hit the positives.
Yeah, you went upside down.
We were upside down.
Yeah. But
had I did it 6 months ago, we would have been upside down.
Yeah.
Based on like how much she owed and how much the car is worth at that time. So I was like, it's a great choice. I wanted to crunch the numbers, and then when he told us like, oh, we'll pay you X amount of dollars, I was like, it ain't gonna get no better than this. It's either let it run out and then it lose all of its value, or we take this plus number that they're giving us, and then plus my credit is good. So once you put me on there, whatever, they talk to you different, right? Yeah. They hit me with a number with my credit where I was like, yo, some of these little things I've been doing, like all I do is just pay my shit back. I put it on auto pay. Auto pay has been the best thing for me, because then whatever money I got, when I look at it after I do all my shit and get my savings, it just pulls out. I don't buy new clothes and shit like that. That's the thing. Like I was talking to her about that yesterday. I was like, I don't buy new clothes. I don't buy like new gadgets and shit. Usually it's golf shit, but right now my daughter's so little now, my golf game is done, right? Like in terms of like it ain't for nothing. So for her it's like it's just simple shit. So I don't need to buy anything. His baseball equipment, I get all that shit like either I'll buy kid shit right now is cheaper, so I'll probably buy like 1 item a season. Yeah. Like we started off with all the starter kid shit or whatever, so it helps out.
You gotta build it up,
And not for nothing, being a stepdad has perks.
Really?
Ask your dad.
You know what?
Ask
You
your
are
dad.
so...
Hey, when I look at it in a real nigga fashion, yeah, not even just that. It's like, it's three of us. For real.
Exactly.
Hey, because like...
Spread it out.
Shout out to my man Lex. Again, like, I ain't got no bad blood with him or whatever. But like I kept telling him, you keep discrediting you like having three people.
You're going to like it when you're cutting the pie a little bit slimmer.
Like let him do it. I know it hurts in the beginning, but shit, man. Like go ahead. Let it breathe. You know, because then there's certain shit like he going on vacation with his dad this weekend. And I'm like, well, good. He get his vacation in. I ain't got to go nowhere for it.
It like ain't coming out of my pocket.
Yeah, I'll take my daughter. So my daughter's like likes the fact now that we come here to my mom and dad's house and I let them play with the kids. Like she'd be cooped up in the house. So like for me, we'll do something, but not anytime soon.
Yeah,
I'm chilling. I'm trying to recoup. I'm in the middle of suing somebody. So
yeah,
well, that money gone.
That's real.
But yeah, man. Oh shit, I'm sitting here looking at you like you about to play the music. Look how long I've been here. Yo, I'm thinking.
I can sit here and look pretty. Remember?
Yeah, in the back. No, you do way more than that. I tell you that right now. I hit Jay up. Last week was funny. We might as well get this out of the way too. Or 2 weeks ago was funny. So Zoe get here. And it was odd because I was like, well, Jay ain't hit me like she normally do to give me a status report. And I was like, maybe she just knows that we're going to be here at the time that we normally be here.
Yeah.
So then we sitting here, he got here, and I was like, I swear she probably covered. Did I hit you up? He's like, I'm grocery shopping right now. I said, I don't know if she's going to make it today. And so then I hit Jay today, and I was like, look, I'm going to be free after 1. I was like, just let me know. She's like, yeah, let me do some things. I'll let you know. I said, it is no big deal. I was like, we got to be better than last time because I assumed. She was like, nah, my bad. I said, no. I said, men got to bridge the gap better, and we got to be able to speak lady. Like, we got to be able to speak lady.
Well, my phone had died while I was grocery shopping, and so when I had got in, I thought I had put it on the charger. Yeah. And I had jumped in the shower, was hurry up and getting ready. I was kind of close. I took longer than I meant to. And then when I finally got in the car and I turned on to charge, I texted you, and then I got, like, your text as I was texting you. Yeah. And I was like, man, I blew that one.
Nah, it wasn't even a big deal. I was like, you know what? And we gonna have Mother's Day too, because it just give us all time to think. And then Mother's Day, I was like, yo, you know what? I don't want pie. She asked me, she's like, you can go pie? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna give everybody enjoy their kids during this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And some type of fashion, let's not take away from that. So
yeah.
I ain't mad at it. Oh, I can tell we on some bullshit today because we went 12 minutes on that. I didn't think we was going to get that deep. Let's get to it. All right, I had my fun. That was fun. I ain't going to lie, man. I ain't going to even lie, man. Hold up. I see what Lex was talking about with this shit. It be just jumping up out of nowhere where he be like, oh, hold a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yo, man. Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normalized Karl. To my front, I have the... Miss Juicy J. Shut the fuck up. Man. We back up in this motherfucker, man.
We made it.
Yes, we did. Yes, indeed. That's how the shit up in here. I ain't got no soundboard right now. I ain't gonna even front.
That's okay. We raw dogging it.
I'll take it, man. Because right now, this shit acting crazy. Oh, wait. Do I got something?
Give me my halo.
Here we go. There we go. Good. Do it for the Lord. With a T at the end. Do it at the T at the end. Hallelujah. How was your birthday?
Oh my God.
You said you had something for me.
You know what? So my birthday, I get the worst birthday depression. And my birthday was like...
You do?
I do bad. My birthday was like a combination of like the best and worst ever. Like the people that I really love and hold dear to me, like really made me feel loved and appreciated and even spoiled. And whether it was like really heartfelt messages like you sent me or like, hitting the Venmo or taking me out to breakfast or cards, I've really felt loved by the ones that I really love. You know what I mean? So
I need to hit your Venmo. Something told me though, if I did hit it, that it might be the wrong profile.
You are.
So I wanted to ask you in person.
So you're.
I actually Venmo stock. And I don't think I've seen you recently on Venmo, like on my friends.
I be changing my phone number, like,
that's what it scares me.
Exactly.
So I wanted to wait till I saw you.
You were right.
I could have sent you a message, but I forgot. I'm glad you said that because I normally hit the Venmo for my people.
And people do that, and I've actually had a few people hit it to my few old ones, and it got stuck. So I actually had to make a brand new Venmo.
Tell these motherfuckers your Venmo right now in case somebody want to send some cash for your birthday.
Just send
pull the phone out while we doing it. Get the shit right. Because then when I go back on the re-listen, just in case, I need to be, I need to do that.
Because, actually hit me, you know what, maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't want me to tell people that he Venmoed me for my birthday. Yeah. But my homie hit me and was like, let me hit your Venmo. And I was like, okay, let me see if I can get into my old one.
Yeah.
Couldn't get into my old one.
Oh, see, I'm glad I asked.
And I was like, you know what?
Your new name is Technical Difficulties.
It is. Because I've had so many phone numbers. I have old technology, being the struggle.
Absolutely. I feel you.
So I end up making a whole new Gmail.
Okay, there we go.
With my new phone number.
New
to
Venmo.
Make a brand new
okay,
Venmo.
There we go. All right, there we go.
Oh, I just made it my name. Jasenia-Fox.
Spell it out for him, though.
JESSENIA-FOX.
There we go.
And I'm in overalls.
I
look cute.
You gotta tell people.
I'm in overalls.
This your Abby? Is this your Abby or not? I need to hit your Venmo. I got you. I'm glad you said that. I got you. But I remember thinking in the moment, like, ain't no way I'm sending this shit. And then if I ask her, the shit never came. And then I'm gonna be sad because I didn't check in.
And that's really what happened. So I'm glad you did. But that wasn't a lure to bait you. But I'm not blocking my blessings. So
No. I do that. That's the righteousness because I need to hit my cousin up and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So shout out to Zoe too. It's Zoe's birthday today too.
Dude,
but anyway, go ahead.
You know what? When I realized Zoe was a Taurus, I was like, no, that explains some of our dynamic.
Yeah.
The dynamic I have with Zoe is like this similar dynamic I have to like all Taurus men. Just like, both bold personalities.
Yeah, he got a bold
strong personalities.
But you know what's
strong point of views.
He don't believe he can shift.
Absolutely.
He'll shift in the conversation.
Yes.
He'd be like, yo, she lit my ass up yesterday. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? She might be right. I'm not going to argue with her. And I'm like, yo, that's cool.
You know what I really will say is even when he is still, holding down, he's like, I'm standing on this, his ability to still take it, I can respect.
Absolutely.
He doesn't get too defensive to the point where he's like, flips it and becomes a dick. Because a lot of guys, they'll get defensive and then they're an asshole. And then they start
be here for
then
that.
They start like personally attacking you.
Well.
And I don't feel that from him ever. You know what I mean?
If that was the case, I would never invite someone, even if he was family or not, I wouldn't invite somebody that would do that because that we just trying to have conversations.
Yeah. But still, sometimes when we're doing like self-reflecting and, we're holding each other accountable and we're doing pushback, it's still hard to hear. So to be able to take it without being a dick.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Okay, but yes,
birthday
but back to my birthday.
There we go. I won't interrupt.
Happy birthday, Zoe, but
Happy
back to
birthday.
me.
Back to the realness.
So my best friend Morgan, who just moved to Hawaii last week, devastating, but also super excited for her.
You got a place
and
to
her
stay?
family. Yeah, she was like, come anytime.
What part?
Oh God, one of the bigger islands.
Okay, there we go.
And her family, her husband and his family, they have their own church. So, the plan is actually in a few years maybe to make it to Hawaii. We've talked about potentially like opening a maternity home. She wants to open a maternity home and she would like me to come in and help her do that when she's ready.
What's up. Absolutely.
So, we say we'll be reunited. But anyway, she sent me to go get him. She's sweetest. Like, she did my favorite things on my birthday. She made me breakfast and it was like homemade. She sent me to get a massage and she tried to give me time to take a nap, but it didn't work out.
Where'd you get a massage at?
So
is that the story?
Yes.
Okay, then let me strap up. That's my seatbelt.
Okay, so she's like, come in the morning. After you drop your kids off, I'm going to make you breakfast. She's like, then you can take a nap. But then in the morning, she calls me. She's like, hey, the girl who was supposed to do your massage canceled, but they have somebody else. They're going to push it. I think they had to push it forward or push it back or something. But they're going to throw in like a freebie, like an add-on, like a scrub or something. And I was like, okay, cool. And so she's like, I'm like, so you got a girl? She's like, yeah. She's like, I feel more comfortable with girls, so I got you a girl. And I was like, what's funny is I was thinking I should have told you I prefer men. I like a man to give me a massage because
I was about to ask you.
Because my back, the way my back
there
and my knots, I want she sent me to a nicer.
Listen, fellas, we good for something.
Exactly. Get in there, get these man paws.
Something. I like
trying
that.
to feel some callus on my bare skin. I ain't been touched in a while.
Oh my God, I'm fucking crying.
Look, I ain't been ever since I had my confession to y'all, I've been a good girl.
Oh, that was a good safe
and even
way to
remember,
say it, though.
even I told you the other day, I almost fell victim, and I fell and I hit up, and then I didn't because I
didn't know the callus did that.
self-served.
You know how many times I used to try to shave my legs and be more feminine, take the callus out, get the cuticles cut. My wife was like, "Nah, cut your cuticles." Like, "Nah, I'm gonna lose a part of myself." Like, "Nah, I'm gonna let them grow." They've been like this for 12 years.
Keep
going.
Man paws.
Keep going though.
So I'm like, I hadn't had like a professional massage in years. I can't remember the last time. And she sent me to like a nicer spot. Like I normally go to like those little Asian spots where like, they might have sex slaves in the back, low key. And like it's like some big ass Thai man who's like crawling on my back like a spider monkey.
Too hard, too soft.
Nah, the last time, what was his name? Like Fo or Long or something? I just remember I got the Thai massage, which is like combined with stretching. And so he was literally on my back. You're naked. They have a little shit on you naked. He pulls my arms up behind me. He's on my back. He pulls up my arms behind me. And he's like, stretch me. And I remember my titties were just...
Wait, you was naked?
Yes, but he pulled me off my. You're laying on your belly.
I'm fucking crying.
You're laying on your stomach.
Respectfully, you got some big ones. So like
my
respectfully,
shit,
but
my
him shaking
nipples were dragging on the massage table.
I ain't laughed that hard all week. I needed that. Oh, my side hurt.
It was so uncomfortable.
Oh, shit.
But the stretch was so good. Anywho, so literally just
shake.
He stretched me about to just
shake.
fucking sweeping the damn table.
Fam, if he did a circular motion, the wind that would have been produced.
The wind. She was
oh shit!
My stomach.
Oh, they can generate electricity. These are generators.
I can't stand you.
Go ahead. Oh my God, I'm hot.
Oh my God, so embarrassing.
Shit.
This is what happens when we ain't been together for too long.
I know, that's funny as hell, man. God damn, that's funny.
That was the last massage. So this massage, so she tells me, okay, it's gonna be a chick. I'm like, damn, I really like a guy. So, they switched the time. I got a little lost, whatever. As per usual, I'm late. I was probably like 5 minutes late.
That's not bad for you. That's on time.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to cut in. It was an hour massage. I didn't want to lose no time. So, but I'm kind of irritated because it was just irritating. I was just irritated getting lost and parking and blah, blah, blah. So I walk in, and as soon as I walk in, the customer service was off. They were like chit-chatting. I walk in. They're like, oh, Yesenia? Which my name is Yesenia, but whatever. Yesenia? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, they're actually ready for you. They're right here. And so when I walked in, I saw somebody standing in the corner. And for, in my mind, I was like... This person, I wonder if they're waiting for me, and I kind of hope they're not. Have you seen, God bless me, Lord, I'm so sorry, forgive me. Have you seen the new show, American Family, Good American Family?
Oh, with the little girl?
Yes.
I didn't see the show, but I know about it. I was supposed to watch it.
Yes, okay, what's her name? What's that girl's name?
The little one?
Natalie Rose or something like that, yes. So she almost resembled her to me in a minute. So I'm like, okay. And so they're like, yeah, go ahead. She's ready for you. And so I look, and there is this teeny tiny blind woman.
I'm not trying to go to hell. Why would you do this right now? These are the DMs I get from my friends.
I told you were going to be disappointed.
And I'd be like, yo, fam.
Look,
Oh,
this
shit.
woman.
Hey, stop. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because in my mind, I'm like, she can at least feel where the muscle is. Like, she probably got the best hands in the business. Oh, my God.
We're going to get to it.
Holy shit.
But remember, I'm irritated. I'm late. My birthday plans have changed. Whatever. I'm whatever.
Oh,
so I get in. I look. There is Missy Lou standing in the corner. 90 pounds wet. One eye looking at me, the other eye, I don't know where.
She was waiting to sense you to walk up to.
I'm like, in this moment, I was so conflicted because I had so many things going on in my mind. The first thing I was like I had like a Karen moment. I was like, oh no, I need somebody else. Like in my mind, right? I'm like, I need to ask for somebody else. And then I'm like, that is so incredibly rude, Jasenia. You cannot do that. And then I was like, oh, you're an asshole. Like, you sit here and advocate for like inclusion and treating people with disabilities, blah, 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 with respect, integrity, blah. But then I was like, I don't give a fuck. This is my birthday. I never get a massage. I want a 300-pound man on my back.
I feel you.
Not Little Miss Blue.
Yo, chill on Blind Fury. Blind Fury is crazy.
So anyway,
Blind Fury.
I don't know how I don't know if she memorized the whole place by heart, but she's very nice. She's like, come with me. Do you need to use the restroom? I'm like, yes.
You don't want to say the name of the place, huh?
No.
I know you don't.
She walks me to the restroom.
I have a feeling, because based off of how you said it is, I think I know what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
It's in Lemon Grove.
It's not Happy yet.
No.
Okay, there we go.
No.
Okay,
it's
the way you said it was waiting on you. I've been to Happy
Albertson
yet.
Shopping Center. Right there in Lemon Grove, where the In-N-Out is, the Albertsons, the
there's a massage place over there?
There is a popular chain.
I stay away from there because the parking in the car situation is shitty.
Oh, it's horrific. Yeah. It's accidents waiting. So she she escorts me to the bathroom, and she's like, okay, well, come on in the room. So I get in the room, and I sit down, and all of a sudden I see something in the corner move, and I'm like, what the? And it's her guide dog. Because I was like, so I'm like, okay. So as I'm going to the bathroom, I'm talking. I'm like, she's blind. Lord, forgive me.
Lord, when you throw that
because when she was moving through precision. When she was moving me through the hallways, I was like, okay, maybe she's, she's not blind. Maybe she just got one eye. That looks a strong guy and a weak guy.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. But then when the good old, Lassie popped up.
Oh, Lassie is crazy.
She was beautiful. I was like, oh, I love your service dog.
Was it dark?
It was, it was, she went out the room, her and the dog. And
that's a crazy question to ask, because maybe she didn't know if it was dark or light, but
what?
Yeah. It's cool. Keep going.
She tells me, I can get undressed. I'm like, everything. And she's like, yeah, of course, whatever you want, comfortable, but yes, everything.
How old was she?
God, she had probably been between 20 and 30.
Was she fine? Like a pretty girl?
I just told you what she looked like when I first saw her.
Yeah, you said she was 90 pounds blind, but then when
I
said
she looked like Natalia Rose. And one eye was looking at me and one eye wasn't.
Oh, shit. Let me look at what Natalia Rose looked like while you keep going. Go ahead.
And specifically the actress who plays her in this Good American or Good American Family on Hulu. You know what? I'm just an asshole. Because maybe if she was blind and pretty, I would have had less aversion to her. Because she was...
But you could be triggered. It's fine.
For me, I wanted a man. Okay, so then I was like already expecting, I was already kind of disappointed I was going to get like a woman. So then I'm at least expecting like an average size woman, right? So then it ends up being like this little tiny woman who's blind.
Like the one on the right?
Is that the actress one? Yeah.
Because I think this, or is this the real one?
I don't have my glasses, but I think that's the real one, and the one in the teal is the actress.
Wait. Oh, this is the actress.
Yes.
That is kind of... Look, man, respectfully. If it is my birthday, though, and you coming in that size...
I'm 4'11". She was shorter than me by inches. I was towering over her. Whatever. I'm an
To
asshole.
be fair, I would probably be even mad if it was like a 75-year-old, older lady that, like it gives me grandma vibes. I don't want my grandma rubbing on me like, yo, you can't be.
I made a lot of assumptions based off of her disability, based off of her stature, based off of her size,
But how was
based
the
off of
massage
her
then?
age. So I get naked. I climb, she comes back in. She proceeds to start, we have a good detail area about where I need broken down, the knots in my lower back and my shoulder blades and where I hold my tension on my neck. And then she proceeds to give me the best massage.
Okay, there we go.
I have ever had in my life. With so much pressure, it was painful, and at times I wanted to say less, but because I was talking all that shit in my mind, I just took it. And at one point she even played me. I know she said it on purpose. She was like, "Is this enough pressure, or would you like more?" I was thinking, bitch, you can go harder than this? Because I can take it.
Not for
I
nothing.
like it rough and hard. I like hard massages.
Let me jump on the ledge with you. Not for nothing, I imagine that people with disabilities' grip strength is crazy. For real. Look. Because we used to go to school with a few at SCPA. There was a few fellas where I was like, look, I don't want to scuffle with him.
Nah.
Like, I feel like he's been strong all his life fighting restraints.
When she
no, for real, I'm serious. I'm serious, man. They got this. When you spend your whole day fighting the restraint, like I'm like, yo, he's got it, fam. Go ahead.
Though. No, there's we call it the autism strength.
That's a real thing.
No, my son is almost only 3, and I be scared of him low key when he has his tantrum. Like I brace, because he's giving me some. I'm like, I have to remember you're a 3-year-old little boy because you done socked me in my motherfucking nose
you be like, God damn, that hurt.
like in a full dog. But no, so it was the best massage ever. She was so strong, and then the technique, it was like nothing I had felt before. She would locate where the knot was, and then she would push it all the way up my spine, down my spine, up. I could literally feel her pushing the tension. It was insane.
Anybody sitting there while she's describing that feel like they need that? My right shoulder is screaming right now like, hey, I need one of those.
You know what? Let me give you her name and where it was, because she really, the way she broke up those tension, those knots, and not just rubbed it out, but actually pushed it through was insane. And I was like, wow, I am eating my words. It was such a humbling moment for me, because as someone who, does advocate for the disabled community and is constantly, preaching inclusion and telling people, when you see somebody who's disabled, don't gawk and stare, go up, talk to them, be, appropriate. They're people. When I walked in, I totally had that fucked up mentality. And for me, it was just a good reminder of you know what, don't forget to practice what you preach, and don't forget that having those type of stereotypes and those misguided preconceptions about people, it just makes you an asshole.
Right. No, you're right.
Literally, it just makes you an asshole.
No, you're
because this woman literally
right.
gave me the best massage I ever had in my life. And there I went thinking this, that, and the other. So.
Nah, absolutely. Yep. No, I'm glad that because you know what? At first I was like, I don't know where this story's gonna take us, but I was like, it's probably gonna be some of the most amazing shit that I've ever heard, man. So
Helen Keller, man, she. Look.
What the fuck? I did see that coming. I found it. Look, I'm naming this shit Helen Keller.
Nah.
I got to, because nobody's gonna know what the fuck we're talking about. They not gonna have any idea. Look, you don't know if it's a joke. You don't know if it's something serious. Although it's a joke. Now, once you get here, Helen Keller is crazy. I like that.
In all seriousness, I fuck with the blind community. You have an advocate for life.
Absolutely.
And
if you got strong, look, man, you're not taking me down there because I was about to say
stop.
it.
We're trying to end it on a good one so we don't get canceled.
Yeah, I don't want to say that crazy, man. Community. It don't matter. We got a few weeks left. Get me the fuck out of here. Come and do it. Come and do it. Me, I've been chilling, man. Daughter had a golf tournament today. She got another dub, which is great.
Yep,
she's showing some progressions. A place that I want to say that she was maybe 5 or 6 shots better at this place and could have did a lot better. What I'm learning is that kids at her age need a little patience.
Yes.
I need patience too. But she be working my nerves, like inside and outside of the ropes. Like I realized God was like, look, fam, the whole way you was and giving your mom shit, let me go ahead and give it back to you. So like now she just got a smart mouth. She's smart. And I have to tell her like, look, one day you're going to be smarter than me. Today's not that day. Today's not that day, right? Like there will be a day where you tell me to sit my ass down somewhere and all this, and I accept that, right? Because I tell my mom, I don't say sit your ass down, but you need to chill, relax. Yes. So I accept that like, look, man, that's something that's gonna happen, but it's not gonna be today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I took him out today, man. The last couple of weeks, now that sports has kind of been dying down, I've been trying to have them go outside, like, here more. You know what I mean? So when we got done, they had way too much energy.
Yeah.
And, like, she even walked the whole golf course, but I think she's getting used to that now. Like, oh, this ain't shit. Like, I can still keep going.
And she still has to conduct herself and hold herself in a certain way when she's golfing.
Right.
Versus being outside and just being able to run and play and be feral.
Exactly. You know? And I want their memories to, like, be like, oh, he was outside running with us, hooping. So, and I told you earlier, my stepson, he had ran into a guy that he gonna be playing football with or whatever, and the kid was like, oh yeah, I'm playing down there too, and I was like, this kid got a little skill. I was watching him catch and I was like, let's run some routes. And the kid smoked him and it was humbling, right? And I told you, and I was like, he needed that because in his mind it's like, oh, you remember this? And it's like, yeah. My thing is, I don't think you need to be like a top athlete or whatever, but I want you to at least play. Because I seen what happened to guys that don't have the skill. They just sit by the wayside. And I can't save you in that sport. I can save you in baseball. In baseball, he's killing, right? Yeah. But football, he's going to be playing against kids that are, it's almost like he, played, 2 seasons? But it's only been like the last 6 months. And I've been out there and I'm like, all right, you can do this against them. So he got out there with a kid his age and the kid like really, really, tore him up. And so I was like, this is just motivation, though. Yeah. Like for us, when we practice, I can reference, like, you remember this? We got to secure that catch. We got to do this. So, having patience with your kids. I know you've been talking about that a lot, is exercise and patience and, getting help and stuff. And help comes in all forms. So that young man today helped me because it's like a marker. So I didn't do it to kill his spirit or nothing like that, more so than it was a proof of point, like, you ain't where you fully need to be at. So let's keep working.
Exactly.
So, versus using it as, you suck and you ain't going to get better.
No. So, motivation.
Yeah. I seen a dad like that one day. He was like, oh, you can't. The kid caught a ball in the palm and it hurt and he fell on the floor. He had a glove on. He was like, oh, you can't catch it. That's on you. I was like, but that's on you as a parent. Don't embarrass him in front of all these kids in the game. Like fam, like bring him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, don't ridicule him in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's nasty out here. But I don't think I've seen that guy since then, but he just looked like he was full of shit. Yeah.
So they're out there.
I think that also the other thing is that it's not lazy kids, it's really lazy parents, because to do the shit that I do is a full-time job, and to do the shit you do is a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like my body hurt every day. I'm tired every day because I'm active. I'm sure you tired every day. You active. You know what I mean? So it's like, for all y'all out there, I just want to model good behavior so that, if you just sitting on the wayside watching your kids and the day go by, bro, like interact with them, spend time with them, talk to them.
I'm so glad you said that. I was just telling my homegirl the other day because, she was like, we were talking about, how sometimes when we go off on the kids, right? And it's like, I hate when I go off on my kids. And I always feel so guilty. And, she was like, well, she's like, I know, but, when you think about how our parents were, like, we're not half as bad as them. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you're right. Like, definitely, the way our parents were with us is nothing into regards in the way that we react to our children. But it still doesn't make it right. It still doesn't mean that, like, we're allowed to have our adult temper tantrums, yelling, going off, when it's our kids who can't regulate their emotions. And how can we expect them to regulate theirs? We can't regulate ours, which is a daily battle. I got 3 kids, constantly overstimulated, My daughter is a screamer. My son is a yeller. My preteen is sassy. So, like, I'm constantly, like, on edge, and I hate when I snap. But it's a constant, like, reminder for me to check in. But the other point to what I was telling her is I was like, parenting is not just about discipline. I was like, I think sometimes as parents, especially modeled by our parents and the generations before that, we get lost in that.
Yeah.
That we think parenting is just discipline or coaching, or not coaching as in sports, like, you know, coaching is on how to do life coaching and rules, and, like, you know, yes, of course, that is a big part of parenting, a very important part, setting boundaries and foundations and coaching and learning lessons. But you know what's actually more important than that? Playing with your kids. Getting on the ground, reading to them, singing, going outside, doing activities with them, pretend play, listening to them talk, watching them do the little fucking performances. Yes, they're annoying, but, you know, engaging with them. That's what they remember, and that's what allows them to actually trust you and listen to the disciplining. Because when there's no connection, when you have no foundation of connection with your child, like actual love, relationship, connection, understanding, then when you're disciplining them, it's more like just coming from a place of, like, being a tyrant.
Right.
You know, and so, like, they only have, like, one childhood, and I know, like, with my almost 13-year-old, I'm like, there's so much I did wrong, you know, and I want to make sure that I do better with the twins and that I repair with her. I've always been a very attentive parent, very hands-on, playing, coaching, sports, like, but I've always had a short fuse. And so now I'm really trying to learn how to rein it in and not be snapping, not be yelling, not be, you know, losing it, and then still pushing myself to be even more present, pushing myself to play more, to, you know, I'm luckily for me, like, I'm a pretty big kid. I'm pretty goofy. I'm pretty silly. So, like, singing, dancing, playing, arts and crafts, those are all things I kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, for me, I'm kind of lucky. I've also worked with kids for a long time, so I know pretend play. I know how to do these things. They come a little bit more natural, but I know for a lot of parents, it doesn't. It isn't. And so, like you just said, like, we want to encourage you to, like, find those connecting points with your kids, especially when they're little, 10 and under, you know. And then when they get older, Jaylee's middle school teacher and principal said it when she started school, 6th grade, and it's been ringing in my mind a lot. He was like, a lot of times when children start middle school, you know, you're, as parents, you're super involved. You go to all the extracurriculars. You've been setting up the play dates. You're doing this and that. But for some reason, when they come to middle school, it's like you kind of back off because they become more independent. And now you're not going on the play dates. They're doing their own stuff, you know. He was like, so it's very easy and tempting to just kind of back off. He was like, but this is when you need to be even more involved in their lives. Just keeping your foot on the pedal, he said. You know, keep that foot on their neck.
Because either they're going to learn from you or they're going to learn from whoever their influences are.
And so I've been having to make sure that I'm checking more in with Jaylee, that I'm making sure I'm giving her time to connect with me also, and to chat, and to, you know, follow up with her teachers and look at the grades, and, you know, not just let her run more independently because she can. Like, still trying to make sure that I'm keeping a close eye on things. But yeah, you know, hang out with your kids, talk to them, play with them. Don't just boss them around.
You know what's crazy? I'm glad you said that, and I think that is a solid transition for us right now, because random shit to fill in time. And the reason why I say that is because I had something on here based off of what you're saying. What do you think, what period, 5 years, let's say, 4 or 5 years, was the most influential impact in your life?
Throughout our entire life.
Your entire life. Are we 36 right now?
Yeah.
In 36 years, what time window had the most influential impact? See, for a long time, I used to say college, but I actually want to take that back. I think it was actually high school.
Really?
Yeah, and more specifically, senior year of high school.
Okay.
Because the reason for me was that by my sophomore year, I had a car and I was driving around, and junior year, I had a job. But I realized that, like, maybe the first semester of my senior year, my mom and dad were less on me than 3 years, the 3 years prior. Because I turned 18 in December. So I spent 6 months at 18 as an adult. And that changed everything, right? Like, I didn't get a habit of smoking and all that shit until I got into my freshman year of college or whatever. But then everything else, like drinking, hanging out, and all that other stuff, and like dealing with people burning you, or, you know, even just people who I spent the last 4 years with, or even before that, like middle school, we're all going somewhere different now.
Yeah.
And so, like, dealing with that loss and dealing with the adventure of where I was about to go to, was like really telling that, like it was like what you're saying, like that experience, my mom and dad couldn't help me with that. And I don't even say that just on some college shit, like even being an adult, like your mom and dad can't prepare you for what they can prepare you at some point, right? Or to a point. Yeah. But like they can't prepare you for the everyday grind of what life is going to be, because since graduation, my life has been adding more responsibility at each stage. And so everything they taught me, all my childhood stuff, even sticks with me now even more in my 30s than it did, you know, 19 to 29 or 31. So I want to say that senior year changed everything for me. Yeah,
it's funny you said that. A good friend of mine, his daughter, so beautiful, smart, talented. She just about to be wrapping up her first year of college, went to a prestigious school, a great school, but she's really struggled, you know, and so he reached out to us. He was like, hey, can you guys write a note, shoot a video, whatever, giving her some encouraging words, you know, to, you know, help her to keep going. But, and I told him, I said, you know, I've worked with young people for a while now, so I've actually had this conversation a lot, that first year of college conversation where, you know, you're feeling all those pains, because there really isn't much besides the experience that can prepare you for that transition from actual high school to adulthood, especially if you're going off to college and you're going to kind of get more of that, or you're moving away, whatever, going to the Navy, whatever. If you're getting that real break of transition of moving out of your parents' house and adjusting to life and responsibilities, it's heavy. But I think for me, like, I want to say like the most impactful on my life was probably maybe junior, senior year to like the first, you know, into like my early 20s. And I think that like those years are so impactful because that's when I was still like figuring out who I was, but didn't quite know, but was also didn't have a lot of guidance. Yeah. And I think that's like goes to what like I'm saying, like even though like our parents, they can't control us, like it's so important, like we for some reason like we have this idea where we're like, all right, you can drive, you're on your own, or like, you know, you're 18, you got it. Right. Like I feel like that's where we kind of need the most guidance, because it's where we have the most freedom and responsibility. Yeah. Right? You're kind of given the keys to the kingdom, but with that freedom comes a lot of responsibility, and so sometimes I think that like we need to remember that our young people still need guidance, and I feel like I didn't have a lot of guidance in that time of my life, and I feel like maybe if I had more guidance or more invested in me right before that transition and during that transition, you know, maybe things would have been different in certain regards. So I think that, I think that's a pretty heavy time, because you're right there in the cusp of childhood and adulthood, right. You know?
Yeah. Because, like, I feel like any other time that I was talking, I was faking it, right? Like, I'm now at the point in my life now where, like, all those influences that I had in my life, like, between, you know, 19 to, you know, 30 or before I got married. Yeah. Like, I've backed away from those things that I used to, like, think, like, I used to champion. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, there's a few guys that, like, I'll, you know, play video games with, guys I'll play golf with and do stuff or whatever. Yeah. But my main focus is my kids now. So it's like when you ask me, a guy got, one of the guys I play golf with, he was like, hey, man, you want to go play in this tournament? I would love to play, or love to go play, but, like, she's got something to do. You know, and so like, and we had different life stages, right? He's, you know, closer to retirement and, you know, on his way, you know, he's out for some time and he's got some free time. It's like, my time ain't the same.
Well, your time isn't yours.
Right. It isn't mine. It's borrowed.
It's
Anytime I get,
yeah.
And it's like, yo, there will be a time where that's, you know, when that changes. But, you know, as of right now, that's where it's at. Before, I would drop my shit and go.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember that freedom that I had, you know, and I'm not even just saying that as somebody, it's not even just a kid thing. Like, if I didn't have kids and I was married, there's still somebody I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
There's still somebody that's like either making dinner or I got to cook for. If they got sick, I got to go take care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like relationships are completely different too. What'd you think about like love in your 20s? Like, what was your idea of what love? Look at the smirk. Look at the side smirk. Like, what was love? Because, you know, like, we always used to go around saying, like, oh, I want something real.
It makes me... it makes me so sick to my stomach.
What is real?
When I think about, like, dating in my 20s, dating,
Do you remember the mind state you was in, though?
Oh my God, ew, yuck. Yeah, like just wanting to be loved and wanting to play house and wanting to feel like I needed to find like my person so I could be complete and...
Going out with a bang. Because I said I was going to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to say what, in my view, in the era that I came up in, like... Yeah. I viewed women as like a trophy case thing. Yeah. Like a collection. Like, okay. Like Future raps about that, like, yo, you can hate me and all this, but you're still part of my collection type thing. It was like something that I can acquire and like think back on. But now, as I've gotten older and I've had kids and I got married and all that shit, it's like, damn, none of that means nothing.
That's, you know what's funny is I think, and, you know, we won't, like, say all men and women, but I feel like that's a good analogy. I feel like men are collecting and, like, acquiring women, like, in their 20s, and especially in that time frame and women in that time, like, we're looking for the one. Yeah. So that's why it's so hilarious, because you guys are just, you know, getting your notches up on your belt, and that's the time frame where we're like, I'm trying to find my soulmate. But it's a joke. Like, when I think about most people dating, like, everyone is out here dating. I've said it before, and I'll die on this hill. A lot of people out here dating unhealed. They're dating broken. There's a lot of emptiness, sadness, insecurity, you know, infidelity. Like, there's a lot of things that people need to work through within themselves. Before they go out dating and hoping that somebody else is going to, like, make them feel better. Yeah. You know? So I realized that, like, I'm like, wow, this whole time I've been dating for my whole life. I was never dating with, like, intention and understanding and, like, really knowing what a relationship needs to be sustainable, like the key qualities that a relationship needs, and then the key characteristics that I need from a person. It was just like, oh, I like you, you like me, you give me the butterflies. I already told you guys what those mean. Like, there's an attraction, there's a chemistry, we get along, it's fun, we're attracted to each other. Let's date. Let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, that's kid shit. Yeah. That's legit kid shit. But do you know how many people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, how many people we know that's how people date to this day? People get married without having conversations about how they're going to do their finances. People get married before having conversations about how they're going to handle conflict, or how they're going to handle which marital roles and who is going to be responsible for what. Like, it's people go dating looking for someone who's, like, making them feel all some type of way, instead of, like, looking for someone who's going to be a partner in their life and bring them up and they can bring up. So it's just trip. Like, that's why I'm so, like, ugh.
With your last, did you have butterflies?
Yeah, and those were red fucking flags, and I should have been running.
And you know, I had butterflies with my wife, but I feel like we're so, like, the butterflies.
But not everybody is, like, you know, not everybody is broken, and so you and your wife could have been legitimately having, like, healthy butterflies, because you both came into the relationship pretty healthy, not all fucking traumatized, you know? I
didn't. She probably did. But then at the same token, I feel like now, because responsibility gets in the way of butterflies.
What do you mean?
Like at the end of the day, like the time that I'm spending with somebody, like up until my kids are able to get on their own, I don't feel like I can feel those butterflies. Also, you know what? Living with somebody changes that.
Yeah.
Cause it's like you see how my mom was. Like, yo, my dad lost his wallet. He was looking for 45 like an hour. Good hour. He was looking for that shit.
Well, yeah, but in the beginning, when it's when you're initially, is those butterflies, when you first meet somebody and you're first getting to know each other. But is the butterflies
the horny?
That's attraction and chemistry. The butterflies are like that anxiety feeling, like when you're waiting to go on a roller coaster and you're super excited, but you know that big ass drop is coming, so you
like
still
worried about how your hair look, what you going?
You still feel anxious. You still you're excited, but there's something.
As
where
someone
you're
who
anxious.
does not suffer from anxiety, give me some of the symptoms.
So the reason why, they say excitement and anxious can feel the same in your body. So it might feel like your stomach is kind of hurting, like you have cramps, your heart might be beating fast, your palms might be sweating, you might feel kind of jittery, like if you drink a bunch of coffee, like you just feel like on edge. Right?
I don't even think I do that to my wife no more.
So no, but the thing is, when those are coming from a fun, excited place, it's different. When they're coming from it's your body's nervous system that's dysregulated, and so that's why I warn people to be wary of what is your nervous system telling you. Is it telling you that there's something off here? Because the body can pick up on energy and vibes. And don't get that confused with what some people get confused as chemistry, where it's that natural attraction, where it's ooh, I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
In my leons, my
libido, when you be talking now, I'll be like, my libido gotta be low.
Y'all
getting lower.
Well, yeah, y'all be talking old.
Yeah.
What do you?
My libido be.
What did you say? 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't be doing 30 minutes.
Look, the last few encounters, I was like, my hips tight.
Did I tell you about the guy whose back went out on me?
Hey, go through that so I could, my brother in struggle.
So I was, when I was told y'all I wasn't going to be hoe, and then I was being a little bit hoe, and I had my confession. So in that time period.
Wait, the back went out is crazy.
Yeah,
though.
In that time
How
period.
Was he?
He was older.
All right, that's good.
Cool.
We'll leave it there.
I met him up in. Well, he didn't live in San Diego.
Taking ibuprofen before sex is crazy. Go ahead.
Cool guy. Went up to go see him. He's a comic, funny guy, super cool. Older than me. Was walking with a cane because I knew he was having some back issues, which I understood. I was kind of
then Blind Fury's not that bad. Helen Keller, all that. If I
told you that's why I was so disappointed in myself, because I'd be open-minded. But no, he really liked me, and I was thinking bro, I just bought a skateboard. I don't know if this is gonna work. But all right, so this we had been talking for a little minute.
I just bought a skateboard. It's crazy.
I like to go hiking and dance, and I don't really know.
That sounds like Later Daters if I ever heard it.
No, for real.
I just bought a skateboard. It's crazy.
But such a cool guy. I loved. Had great conversation. I should see how he's doing.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, it was our first time, gonna be making love, and I really didn't want to.
He came in the bedroom with a cane, though.
He picked me up from where I parked with the cane.
Oh shit! It's in the front seat.
He was. I parked him down the street from his apartment, and he came and met me so I could walk back with him. And he had the cane. I saw it in live action.
Oh shit!
And
you.
we might as well go out with the bang. Go ahead, ask it. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Respectfully, people with wheelchairs, canes, and all that deserve to have love. I'm not getting at that. My point was, did you say to yourself, I need to take it easy on him tonight?
You know what? I was trying not to have intercourse with him, because I was like, I'm gonna be a good girl. I was trying to be behaved.
Not him. He said, I'm gonna try it.
We got in the bed, and we were supposed to go to sleep, and one thing led to another, and I was like, all right, fuck it, here we go. So things were moving good. He actually wanted to do the full production, but I was like, nah, let's just keep it simple. Let's keep it light. Yeah. So, we're getting there.
In hindsight, based off of where this story's going,
I should have.
No. He should have kept it light. That's what you were saying. Like, I should have kept it light.
Yeah. I'm like, let's just keep it easy, simple. No one, don't stroke out on me. And so, this is our first time making love, and so we're getting acclimated. Getting shit situated, trying to figure it out. And he's on top. And so finally we get into
bold move by him. Yo, because for real, if my back hurt, let's talk about this. Your knees are on the bed, obviously, as a man, right?
Yeah.
You also have to hold yourself up in a straight position with your arms, right?
Yeah.
Unless you crammed up on the bed.
Yeah, no, he was, holding himself up.
And you also need back strength if you're not holding yourself up. Because, the small muscles in your back got to be real strong. Keep going, though.
Yeah,
All recipes for disaster.
And I feel like he was kind of, holding my thighs up a little bit, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so...
Coming in with a cane, that's a crazy move. Keep going, though.
So I was like, when we were in the bedroom, I forgot all about his disability. Shout out to me. I see, love is blind.
Absolutely.
And so...
crazy reference.
Oh, you know what? I actually...
That's a crazy reference.
You know what? We're going out with a bang.
There we go.
I did go out with a guy several years ago who was in a wheelchair, and I went back to his hotel, and he had to shoot himself up to get his dick hard for us to be intimate.
What do you mean shoot himself up?
He had to inject himself with something to get an erection. He was paralyzed from the waist down.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he played semi-professional handicap lacrosse. I might be saying that wrong. Don't come for me.
But he could feel it?
You know what? I asked him, and because I didn't really realize until everything was kind of happening.
Wait.
And then I was like, oh, wait.
Went out with a bang. Respectfully. I'm going to hell, man. You gonna get me there. Did his legs look like they worked when you saw him?
They were petite. They were
Stop,
petite. He was in a wheelchair.
No, why'd you say petite? Why'd you say petite? Don't you describe that man's legs as petite. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. No, you didn't. I know what those petite legs look like, and I've never thought of that word. That's a respectful way of saying it, but that is a crazy word to use. And I can't even tell you that because my legs work, so I can't sit here and say, but
they look much smaller without, when he had pants on, it wasn't as noticeable. But once he took his pants off, it was petite.
And he shot himself. How long did it take to work?
Dude, so pretty quickly, I didn't realize. So he had went to the bathroom, was doing whatever, and then I had went to the bathroom after, and I was, freshening up, doing a little bird bath, making sure everything was, prime condition, and I seen his little
syringe,
his little bag, not makeup bag, but man's bag, toiletry bag, and I seen the little shots and syringes, and then it just dawned on me oh well, duh, because I was thinking that I had even hit up one of my best friends who has a disability and was like, hey,
in the bathroom.
Nah, before that night, as I was getting ready on the date, and was like, yo, what do I do? How do I do this? And I don't want to be offensive. And she had kind of prepared me and warned me that he might need something like that to get an erection. And so when I seen the syringe, I put it all together, And I asked him after we, I guess, finished having sex, if he could feel it. And he said that, he can feel pressure, a little bit of pressure, but he still gets enjoyment.
That's what I was getting at right there.
Because he knows that I'm getting, the woman is getting pleasure from it.
Man. Bless him, man. That's a lot to carry, man. All seriousness.
Yeah.
Now getting the joke out the way, that is the part that to me is I wondered that piece.
Yeah.
I've seen, what, the one thing I do like about social media is that there's a girl on there and she's a fairly attractive woman, but she's with somebody who's a quadriplegic. and like she married him.
Talking about the black girl and the white guy?
She's not black. I think she's like Latina or something like that. And he's white. But
okay, yes. I know another one that I follow like that.
But I just like to me it's respect to anyone that is in a relationship like that, man. Because like even there are people too, and at the same token too, it's like I know that the biggest thing for a lot of people with disabilities is not being a burden to someone else.
Yeah.
But still accepting help, right? Yeah. And so, like, for anyone that has the patience of, one, not getting frustrated with somebody in that type of situation, and then two, normalizing it at the same time is like, they don't make a lot like y'all. So, respectfully, like for real, I know we was laughing earlier, respectfully, that's really dope of you.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity employer. DEI, baby.
You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to try them all. But back to Homeboy. So we're getting finally in the position. We're finally getting, we're getting in rhythm. We're going. It's getting good. And I swear I thought he had a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
Literally, he was like, ah! And his dead weight dropped on me. I was like, are you okay? Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
It was so scary. And he just, like, slowly, like, rolled over. And that was it. That was the end of the
He just stayed in that position the rest of the day?
He, like, rolled over, and he was like, I'm so sorry. I can't move for a while.
Why you put your hands up like that?
Because he was kind of...
You know, like when you tell your dog to stand?
That's how he looked.
Oh, fam, that's crazy. That's wild, man.
How did we even get on that?
I don't even know. Oh, we talked about.
How did we get on my?
I don't even remember.
How did we get on my sex aids disabled edition?
Yo, I don't know what to name this.
But I have the nerve to judge the blind masseuse.
That was the thing. Yeah. She didn't even know.
I'm human.
Yeah. No, she's human. She's human. She gave you the grip strength of your life. Bite force of 1,300 PSI. Oh my God. Shows to watch. So we talked about, shout out to the Angels. I just seen that we swept the Dodgers for the first time in years. It's been a long ass time since we done that. So you talked about last time you were here, we did shows to watch on Black Mirror, right?
Yeah.
And so I watched the first episode of Black Mirror. My boy Mike hit me. He was like, yo, man, the first episode of Black Mirror is hella fire. He's like, y'all got to check it out or whatever. And so I did, right? Oh, I think, you know what?
Did you watch it with your wife?
No, I talked about this with Zoe, though.
Okay.
I want to say I did. I think I did. But just in case. I want to talk about it with you. So the first episode was about old girl, and they found out that she had like a tumor in the mass in her head.
Yes.
Right? And they uploaded her to iCloud.
Yes, so conscious.
Exactly. So my real quickly, my point with you was, did you watch that?
Yes.
And what did you think about it?
About what? The option of being able to do that, and would I do it with a loved one?
Yes.
Dude, it was wild because when we were trying to remember what we were talking about, I was trying to remember what show you were talking about, and you reminded me when you were like, she went out of range and she passed out.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, because she ran out of data. she was out of the coverage, but she was out of the coverage
That's
zone.
funny as hell. She ran out of she had the coverage area, yes.
And so the fact that what was so fascinating about that particular episode and just the show is that we're, it feels like we're not far from that. So the idea is, instead of your loved one passing on, you can upload their subconscious into the cloud, and basically it can be downloaded back into them like their computer. But there was a catch, that's technology. Basically, think of like cell phone service towers where there's only coverage in certain areas, but there was options where you could upgrade and pay more to have more coverage, where you could go out of your city, go out of your state, go out of the country. And
change your like demeanor.
I forgot about that. So
that was important.
That's right.
I did talk about this with Zoe because it's Tracy Ellis Ross. And I said her name all fucked up, but I forgot about the fact that she had no empathy for the family because she couldn't, and a lot of people were insinuating that she turned her little serendipity thing all the way up to where she didn't have any emotions.
I was so frustrated with her, like when Yeah, I was like,
she played that well, though.
Yeah, she did. Oh my gosh, she played that well.
Because that's not her soul. You know what I mean? That's not her spirit at all.
No, not at all. But that makes sense. I forgot that. Yeah. So then eventually they have these boosters. They turn into an app, and they have these boosters where you can pay more and you can boost your mood and you can enjoy things, be on like this ecstasy. If it was, damn, this is gonna sound crazy. I was gonna say if it was a spouse, I would ask them what they wanted. You know, I would hope that we'd have those conversations and I would do what they wanted. If it was my kid, I'm probably gonna save my kid. I'm probably gonna go ahead and
I probably.
But I don't know, because in the end they couldn't afford it. And remember, I just remember what he started doing to be able to afford it. Yeah.
Now let me ask you though, right? This is actually a good question to ask you, respectfully. As someone that has like battled with mental health stuff like previously, like being depressed and all those things,
in recovery,
would you pay for boosters?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
I don't know. It's kind of like my meth thing. I know. Don't laugh, because I'm saying it's serious.
I know.
Man, don't bring the meth thing up.
She gonna get you.
She gonna get me.
Stop saying you bringing up meth. I'm worried about her. Go check on her. Tell her to pull her sleeves up. Tell her to pull her sleeves. You better not be.
We're good.
But
okay, I would want to, but it reminds me of. In seriousness, I have said that the idea of doing meth after I went to a recovery center crossed me, because I realized how, people explained it as that escape and that euphoria. And I was like, God, I would give anything to feel that way. But I've never done it, because I'm scared I'd be hooked and I would be constantly chasing that euphoria.
Feeling,
So no, I don't think I would do the boosters, because it would be the same. However, I have to admit, like, I thought of like my son, and I would do all that weird shit times 10 that man did if it meant that I could keep my son a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It is terrible. It's a slippery slope, but I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to take advantage of it. What I will say is, in the end, they got to decide together when she was ready to,
right,
to say goodbye. I mean, obviously not without a serious cost.
The ads is crazy though. If you start running off with the ads, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, like if I see my,
because then I don't feel like, I would do it. I would do the trial. I signed up for Pandora. Pandora hits you with random ads all the time. That's the thing. But I personally, now that just to have a different conversation than what we had, I don't think I would do the boosters like if I was like down and out or having a rough time. I don't think I would do it, because I would feel like I cheated something that I was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like the purpose of life in itself is to feel those emotions and go through the ups and downs. And I think that being on the brink of death at any given time adds value to things.
Yeah.
Like a perspective on things. Like, yo, I should really enjoy this moment for what it is because of what I've been through.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I tell people, I had a therapist tell me, like, the mourning you feel for somebody is a testimony to the amount of love you had for them. So, if you're experiencing a great loss and it's extremely painful, it's because it was a big love. There was a love there, so you can't experience serious loss without serious love,
Right.
So, but I think that like for someone who experiences chronic pain, chronic sorrow, like, and we don't have enough highs. Like you said, life is kind of this up and down. When you're someone with chronic pain or chronic mental health issues, it's a lot of down,
right?
Not
yeah,
up.
You're right.
So I think that's why it may be more tempting for us or for those who are feeling that constant down, to take kind of a shortcut, or to be like, I want to feel that. I want to feel some kind of joy.
You're right. Because most people that are into substance use and stuff like that, they use it. It's out of necessity. It's the euphoria that you feel. Yeah,
and then it becomes a mental health issue, or vice versa.
I don't think I've ever met someone with a substance use issue that wasn't battling something. You know what I mean, like mentality.
Or they got hooked on drugs and then developed a mental health issue, and now self-medicate to help do it. It's a very vicious cycle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it is. But most people...
It's a shortcut of like dealing with reality.
It's a coping mechanism, 100%. That's why so many people... Everyone has their different vices. You know, even like, you know, the smoking weed and certain things like that. Like, I know for me, like, those are coping mechanisms because I still haven't figured out how to fully regulate my emotions and things like that. But it's when, you know, unfortunately for some people, when it's something that's a more serious substance or becomes a more dangerous addiction, that's when it, you know, it's scary. So, and it can become it overtakes your life, and it's a true disease, and it's a true cycle, you know, and I really have my heart out to anybody who is in the midst of addiction or has a loved one who's in the midst of addiction, because it's a lifelong journey, just like mental health recovery. I will be on my entire life, I will have to work on my mental health to make sure I don't kill myself. Like, maybe there will come to a place where it will be easier, but I will always have to be in some kind of recovery, so that's making sure I'm taking medication, I'm eating well, I'm exercising, I'm connecting with people. Like, I'll always have to make sure that I'm maintaining my process, because, like, you're an addict for life, right? That same thing, like, you got to keep up on it, because if not, you can slide back into those behaviors or into that state. And if you don't have that strong foundation to learn how to move out of that state, then for me, someone who struggles with suicide, it can be very easy for me to fall back into that loop of, oh, I'm going through a hard time, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I want to kill myself.
A listener hit me up and was like, man, like, she be dumping stuff on you, and like, you just be like maneuvering through it. And I was like, yo, you know,
I be trauma dumping on you?
No. Because, well, how do I say this? I feel like I have these conversations based on what I do so often that it is almost like a normal conversation for me to be able to, like, not freeze.
Yeah, maybe it's not as heavy.
Yeah, because, like, I listen, like, and I listen for, like, all right, let me see if they good. And if I had started coming in here and saying some stuff was off the wall, you'd be like, hey, what's wrong with him? Like, I listen for indicators, but I'd be like, nah, like, I think, like, it's cool to process that conversation with somebody and have it with them. I've thought about, like, what life would be like without me being here. Yeah. I've been mad at my parents enough to be like, what if I wasn't born? You know, what if I wasn't here? Or I've thought about like, yo, I don't want to be a burden on somebody like before, but it's not to the point where I had a plan or, you know, or anything like that. And I'm not saying that like I struggle with that. I just, you know, we all contemplate death, and we all contemplate what life would be like without us being here. For some more than others, that is more prevalent and painstaking, and they deal with it disabling. So I don't want to take that away from anyone. What I want to give to people is the normalizing that conversation and saying like, yo, like, this is what your worth is. Exactly.
Well, I think that, like, you know, even that idea of like, oh man, she really dumps things on you, or saying, it's like, there's that idea that these are conversations that are taboo, or, you know, you shouldn't say, but that's when people end up killing themselves. You know, it's when everyone thinks that they're supposed to live with their intrusive thoughts, their suicidal thoughts. You know, there, like you said, there's levels. Not everyone, but people might have those thoughts where, I wish I wasn't born, or you have those days where you feel like, I don't want to be here, and then to the point where you're having intrusive thoughts that become debilitating and affect the way that you can move throughout your life. And then to the point when those intrusive thoughts become actual suicidal thoughts, where you start planning and obsessing, and you cannot, you know, not think about killing yourself, you know. And so I think that, like, when we're quiet about those thoughts, they become loud, and your thoughts are not facts. That's one of the first things I learned in therapy. Thoughts and feelings are not facts. But when you're so consumed in your mind and you're only hearing your own thoughts, they start feeling like facts. So that feeling of like, I can't get through this, that feeling of like, there's no hope for me. That feeling of like I'm unworthy, that feeling of like I'm a burden. Like when you're having that conversation just with yourself, when just you and yourself are having that conversation, that's when you are at risk for your life.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody there to say, hey, no, you are, no, you're just going through a hard time. There is hope. No, you are loved. No, you are worthy. No, your circumstances aren't always going to be like this. You need a voice louder than your own, and so, but a lot of times there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of embarrassment. Even people like hearing me talk about it, it makes people feel uncomfortable. They're like, oh, God, she talks about killing herself a lot. It's like, yeah, because I think about killing myself a lot. And if I don't talk about it, guess what I'm going to go do? No. Be quiet and go kill myself. But it's like, so that's why we always say, like, silence kills, because when you're having these thoughts in your mind and there's no one there to combat them, they become truths. And then it becomes a truth you feel like you have to act out.
Mom.
And I always say it's not that people who are suicidal want to really kill themselves. They just want the pain to stop.
Mom.
And they don't see any other way to make it stop than that way.
And I think you bring up a good thing, and if anybody was wondering, it was just, one listener that brought that to my attention, like, maybe about a month ago, and I think that y'all should just normalize the convo, like, have it, and make time. I have a friend of mine, he had said that a friend of his had took his life over Mother's Day, and the funny thing was, and funny as in ironic, was that he was like, hey, man, like, he hit me on something completely different.
Yeah.
And he brought the shit up to me. And, he was like, I ain't trying to kill the mood or nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to reread what you wrote a few times because it's Friday at like 9:30. That's not something that I didn't think I was going to get one of these today. But I was like, yo, this is a moment that he's reaching out, and like, normally I probably would have left that text alone.
Yeah.
But if this was somebody who you knew, and obviously if you like shared a space with somebody, have that conversation with them, and then I continued to send messages, the rest of this weekend, just making it a priority to like respond and everything.
Yeah.
Not because, more so just being genuine.
Yeah.
Like I fucking feel like, and I'm not speaking of like this person that had asked, what they said was it was more so like, it was impressive, like how I maneuvered the conversation. Yeah, it wasn't like, damn, why she keep doing that? It was more so like, hey, man, like I kind of like hats off because I want to learn like from doing that. So like,
you handle heavy conversations.
Absolutely.
Well,
so
sure.
My thing was like, yo, man, like if sometimes it just be something simple.
It's so simple.
Like we got this weird guy at my job, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, yo, I'd be telling him, I was like, go make sure y'all talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if he get mad enough or whatever, he might.
See, look, you're so.
But for real, it might mean something to him.
It does. It does.
Me and Cease was talking about it, and we be the ones he be like, you was nice to me. You can go.
I mean, I just have, no, literally. No, for real.
For real.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing. I think I just have, like, there's so many, like, having it, like, I'm really coming to the terms of realizing, I have a child with a disability. And just knowing what that means is like, one, these conversations being genuine, they really are lifesavers. A good coworker, an old coworker turned good friend of mine a few weeks ago, she let me know her coworker took his life. Our age, wife, 3 kids. She said, he reminded me so much of you, the light of the room, always laughing, always joking. She thought, but people noticed him in the last few weeks down, his always smiling, still trying to keep it lighthearted. But she thought, I got on the elevator with him and I could just sense his spirit was down. And she's like, I wish I would have said more. And I was like, we can't have that kind of guilt. But we can use those moments as not moments to shame and guilt ourselves, but moments of like learning lessons of when you do feel like someone is maybe a little bit off. Kind of leaning in more, checking in more. The weird guy in the office, I was watching this kid on TikTok. He's like a 16-year-old kid with level 3 autism, and he was nonverbal until he was like 10. Very smart, but he said that and had a twin sister. So obviously made me think of my son, nonverbal, autistic. I have twins, a boy and a girl. And he said that, like, he had, even when he did finally start to talk, he had such a heavy speech impediment, no one could hear what he could understand what he had to say. And so people either pretended they knew or didn't have enough patience to sit and listen. And so he said for, his whole life, he felt unheard. He felt ignored. Like, his twin sister was embarrassed of him, so she would ignore him. Like, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, we are so quick to just not to dismiss people.
Yeah.
Because they're a little bit different. Or we're so quick to avoid checking in or more genuine conversations because we don't want to overstep or because we don't want to make things awkward or, so I think just a little bit of stepping up from all of us really can impact somebody's entire life.
The problem that I have is that I feel like we backsliding though, right? Like I feel like who we have in office and the type of people that's around this shit.
Oh Lord!
Like even some of the the conversations, like this white ableism thing that's going on right now feels like a fucking disease. You know what I mean?
Jeez,
like the amount
the
of
white Africans getting the okay.
It's just like the whole. This is the whole political thing. I don't want to jump into it. I don't want YouTube cutting any more episodes down. But I just feel like people have been in way. I go on Twitter to look at comments that people leave from these accounts.
Disheartening.
Not because I believe in what they saying or I'm mad or anything. It's just I read them because it's damn, when the fuck did we get like this?
And that's the general public.
You know what I mean? It is.
And when I read those comments, Twitter, Facebook, just kind of the general public off of whatever little topic it is, and I see the consensus of everyone's kind of attitude or ideas or thoughts, and I'm like, wow. Sometimes we forget that how people really think.
Yeah.
The masses of people.
Yeah, somebody believes in something that's totally off the wall.
Yeah. Or support some straight bigot ass shit.
And you know what though? It be that, but then I ask myself, right? Because I know what we were talking about in this heavy, and I think that this will ring loud. Because you can get caught up in the everyday. You talked about the gentleman with someone that you work with and all those, and he had a wife, kids, and we're saying that oh, you had people that needed you, or people that depend on you, or people that probably could have been keen to what was happening. But every day that I do something, I don't know what has a profound impact on somebody.
Mm-mm.
The small things that I do.
Yeah.
We've had some kids, right, and parents, when I'm been coaching, they wait for me.
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 years, they follow me. That does not happen all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've had people leave and still hey, coach, we appreciate, everything that you did, and they treat you with respect and all those things. And, people in the community, hey, thank you for working with us. And that small piece of random acts of kindness or nice things being said, to me is enough for me to say this is enough for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do wish that I know you had brought it up on your birthday, not being job wise and where you at financially. I'm here to tell you that on the other side of things, just someone that's a little bit more intact with things. The shit ain't what it's cut out to be. You're not missing nothing over here. Just when I ran into real rich people, y'all motherfuckers don't seem happy. So my enjoyment in life comes from really just simple things, being able to connect and not hold any grudges with a person based on their class and or where they're at in their life. I told y'all, I've sat in rooms with billionaires and felt small, but they were so human.
Yeah.
That it was just they just have things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when you think about, as part of my 3 cheers is Joe Biden's president, but he's sick now. You know what I mean? So it's you could be the president of the world and then the world knock you on your feet and you're a human again, everyone else.
Well, I think that there's that, and then there's also basic human rights and stability, right? So to be able to just be in a position where you're I don't need a lot, but basic stability to be able to even enjoy the little things in life. You know what I mean? So I think that it's important to remember that it's yes, it's not always like finances that, like having a certain amount of money doesn't absolve you from trauma or death or all of life's hardships.
Right.
And it doesn't automatically make you happy.
No.
However, having a certain level of finances does
give you peace of mind.
It acquires a level of stability and peace of mind, which is priceless, which is actually like the foundation of the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And so, it's important that we know that all people deserve that.
But I also think that, like, what you talking about, although you may not be there, like, it may be built through your seeds.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like honestly,
God willing.
Because like even like certain things that I do financially and things that I like I've, knock on wood, but certain things that I do moving now is based off of like where their failures may have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't always up, and it was like, all right, well, like for me to continue to be that way and not be at risk and jeopardizing like what my kids do. Like, there's certain behavior things that I got to do, right? Like, for example, I might be pissed off at somebody at work, and old me would just, like, go off the Richter.
Now you got...
But if I lose this fucking job, it ain't just me that's going to suffer from it, so it's someone else. And it's like, if I can model... I could be a model on both sides, but I'd rather be a model with, like, less risk by just continuously going and doing the things I need to do and being present, active dad. I think that right there would set a foundation. You know what I mean? Now, do I know that 100% that's always going to, do I know that that's going to be something that they're going to be like, I've met people that have great households and still end up, where they at. That scares me too, right?
Yeah. No, one of my best friend's mom, she's grew up with money, like raised by butler, nanny, lived in like the Hollywood Hills type ish. And was an only child and ate at restaurants every night, like money. And when I have conversations with her, she has had a lot of trauma, a lot of heartbreak, and so she's like, she always says like, it doesn't matter like how much money you have. There's still certain things that if they're in your family, like if they're part of your family dynamic, like no amount of dollar can save you from it,
Right.
So.
Absolutely. All right, so let's pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, geez, we were supposed to have fun today. How did we? Let's cut all that.
Yeah, no, we don't leave it.
How did we get on Debbie Downer?
I know.
I blame you.
Fun facts.
Please,
You can't tickle yourself because your brain predicts it. I've tried tickling myself plenty of times. Yeah, I know. I know I'm coming. I know I'm coming.
That's funny.
I've never been, except, they're full of shit on this. If I run a pin across the bottom of my foot right now, I'm going to lose it. It don't matter what it is.
You might get a giggle.
Yeah. But I can grab my own ass. But if my wife grabs me, I start feeling a little sensitive. I'm like, hey, stop it. Don't play. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why don't you guys like your booties grabbed? We love this.
That's
Slap
not a place.
grab it.
That's not a place. Like usually when men slap you on the ass, it's associated with a little pain, right? It ain't normally like, hey, buddy. Like it's a little crazy. But still at the same time, it don't tickle, So so I've grown up my whole life with associated, boy, let's go.
That's real.
And then you come in here with come here. Hey, I'm like, nah, that's too. Don't make me feel like that, dear. Like, chill, relax.
Don't make me feel like that there.
Yeah, not right there. Don't make me feel like that right there.
Okay, can't tickle yourself. Got it.
The average person has 70,000 thoughts per day.
Then I've got double. So imagine.
Then I've got double. It's crazy. Oh man,
damn, that's 70,000. A lot of thoughts.
It is about anything, and I thought about it. I was like, "Fuck!" If I should be allowed to forget things.
Yeah,
fam. If I was armed with this information, like fucking 15 years ago.
You've been sorry.
Yeah, hey man, the average
70
person.
Thoughts today.
Yeah, we're on 150 right now, and you want me to remember number 1, and it's only 7 a.m. in the morning.
But think about that. The average 70,000 thoughts, and that's why they say controlling your thoughts is so important. Controlling your narrative. That's why mantras and affirmations and talk therapy and being kind to yourself.
Remembering your why.
And exactly. And, that's why they say, because what did they say? Your thoughts shape your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape like your future or something like that. So your thoughts are the beginning of everything. So what you think shapes what you do, and what you do shapes like how you feel, basically.
Right.
And then it's a cycle. Don't quote me, something like that. So I mean, the fact that we have that many thoughts, no wonder why all of the mental health gurus, all of the people who have strong mental health, they're very in control of their thoughts.
Yeah, because
they're very intentional about their thoughts.
You're right, because when I think about it, right, my Monday through Friday when I'm in the grind is like really, it's really on getting past 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I probably go through a lot of thoughts in the day, but I'm ranking in my head like what's most important for me to get stuck on today.
Yeah.
Like I told you about that battery thing.
Yeah.
That was a Monday through Thursday thought that I didn't get to until Sunday, because everything else took priority based out of need and what's in front of me at that time. I guess based off of what you're saying, I can see where someone can get stuck if they are not really where they want to be in terms of their mental health, because it's like, yo, you can get stuck on something, whereas I can throw it, somewhere differently.
It's called ruminating.
And
I be a ruminating motherfucker.
And I tell myself like I can't get stuck ruminating, because if I do, then that's gonna stop me from wherever else I need to do.
Exactly.
It's very hard, but you know what? A lot of my shit is routine based. Like if I stick to the routine.
Yeah.
Now, I can add things to the routine too, but I have to give up certain things.
Literally.
So and I have to reprogram myself. But then again, that's very hard for other people to do.
You know what you're talking about though is when I was working with my life coach, I had to put her on pause because my life fell fucking apart. But she's so awesome.
Putting your life coach on pause when you were trying to get together is crazy. Keep going though, respectfully.
We were like planning all kinds of great things, and I was like, she was willing to go through with me, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna put you on pause, and when my shit's more together, I'm gonna have you help me out again.
You said this is thought 358. I'm still taking care of 1 through 12.
No, literally. But so she was saying that. She was saying like having that strong, God, what is it called? I can't think of what she titled it, but basically having your basic, your rubric routine that you do every day is like imperative to kind of keep you grounded throughout the week, because she said life's gonna have its ebbs and flows. There's gonna be curveballs. There's gonna be stress factors, but if you have your basic bones that you always do, you go to the gym, you read, you go to work, you whatever it is, your basic, when everything else around you is chaotic and falling apart, it's sticking to that routine that kind of grounds you and keeps you on the floor and kind of in the actual, going through the motions of things instead of getting swept up in the chaos. And so having, what you're talking about, that, obviously still requires discipline, but maybe comes to you a little bit more naturally, but still requires that discipline on your behalf to uphold, is like the foundation of what those of us who struggle with consistency and routine, we need it. It's like a staple of us, but it's hard for us to get into that motion.
Yeah. The routine is everything for me now.
Yeah, it's vital.
And I've always had, me and Zoe were talking about this a while back. I don't know if you were here that day or not. I'm not sure. But, playing sports and shit, like when I was young, playing sports was a priority, right? But I also think that, being outside let me know that, not everything had to be this. And so, my point being is that, doing something that you love or finding something that you love, finding it is, it's easy to say doing something that you love, but also respecting the fact that you might have to find it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like enjoy the journey of finding out what's new and what's going to change with you. And then also I'm learning as my body changes, there's only so much things I can do.
And you gotta sometimes adjust.
Yeah. So it's like if you battling 70,000 thoughts a day on average, you know what I mean? spend time doing one thing that you enjoy, so that the 69,999 thoughts don't impede that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Don't impede. You're gonna have the thoughts, but don't let it stop it from doing what what you're trying to do. You
know?
So and also doing what you're good at. So absolutely. Fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. It's a weird one.
I wonder why.
I suffer from biting my shit sometimes.
Me too.
But you know what? As I look at it, actually, I also prefer to bite my dominant hand fingernails.
You know what? Yeah, I bite them all up. But that's funny. They grow faster.
Yeah.
I wonder what that. Maybe more stimulation. Maybe you're moving
the nerves and everything moving in there. Yeah. I like that one. That one was different. And then lastly, the original name for Google was back rub. Yeah, I checked it. They showed the colors and everything too. It was odd.
Who came up with that name?
I'm sure that they probably. Well, I don't know who came up with the name, but I'm sure that they probably tested it amongst people, and I'm glad they didn't. Like if I say, "Yo, look it up on back rub," that sounds kind of crazy.
That sounds weird. It sounds inappropriate.
Use your back rubs instead of use your Googles.
Yeah, and we say Google like it's a noun almost. So you know what I mean? We use it like a real life word.
Back
I Googled it.
Yeah.
I back rubbed it. Nah, that sounds like nasty.
Yeah.
Explicit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inappropriate.
You know what? I didn't have it on here, but since we're here, iPhones were actually going to be called Mobies.
Mobies?
Mobi.
Where's my Mobi?
Yeah, that would have lost
the
me.
Mobi 7, the Mobi 10.
That's crazy.
Nah.
That sounds nasty.
Nah, that's weird.
iPhone sounds way futuristic.
Yeah, it does. Mobi sounds like...
what's the little Beanie Babies?
Yeah, like 90s.
Yeah.
Hit me up on my Mobi.
Hell, your Mobi got green bubbles on it? That's crazy. Yeah. Yo, you got the blue bubble Mobi?
You ain't got that new... Have you seen that translucent phone?
No.
Oh my God! Let me show you.
I don't want a You want a translucent phone? It reminds me of the fish that would be in the deep sea, where we haven't like really.
Have you seen the canoe? Have you seen those canoes that have the clear bottom? Would you do it?
Now here's the thing. That's
Kinda
funny
cool.
that you said that. Fuck it, the world is ironic. So my massage lady, right? She, I haven't called her since January though. My body is feeling, but once you started saying that shit and how I feel, this is normally the time I start calling her. My massage lady also rents out canoes to people. So she has the clear canoes.
Yes, those are so cool.
And what she does is she takes people to La Jolla Cove, and they'll go out there and let's see what we got here. Shoot. Nah, where the wires at?
Click on it.
Where the wires? That's crazy. Hold up.
Yeah. Well.
She's right. No, that's bullshit. This is the wrong one. Oh, I don't know how to work these. There we go. That's wild, man.
I don't know how legit it is, but I seen like somebody recorded another person, and they were like, "What are they using?" And then I was like, "Is this real?"
That's crazy. If we get to I don't need that. I want to see like all the. Well, maybe you could probably see if water damage is in your shit or whatever too a little better. I like color in my shit though. I ain't going in front.
Nuts.
I don't want to see my handprint or nothing like that. Nuts. If they get to that point of the tech, that's kind of crazy.
Wait, do you think that we're gonna get to the point of age where like, well, I mean, they're already doing like the little AI glasses where like you can talk to Siri in it. It can pull up things in the lens of the glasses. I think Ray-Ban came out with and so did Snapchat.
Whoa, he uses them.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. When he do the stepdad videos.
Okay, so like, do you think we'll get to the point where we actually won't even have phones? It will just be some kind of like little
implant chip
screen that we see.
Yes, but I wouldn't participate in that. Okay. I need 5 to 6 years for the tech to be like perfected, because obviously they probably even running testing on people right now.
What does the cell phone look like in 10 years?
That's the thing though. They have to be able to make the leap, because right now I don't feel like they're offering us anything different.
Yeah.
Like I used to get caught up in, I need the iPhone 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I can go 4 or 5 years. The only reason why I updated this phone was so that it can handle the video capabilities of this pod.
What are even like some of the new, like what's a feature on a phone nowadays? I mean, yes, camera, but what's something that would be like, whoa, you know what I mean, that they could add to a phone?
My phone cooked breakfast. Like, for real, I don't know what.
Nah, exactly.
There's nothing else that you can give me right now. I feel like the tech is hit the ceiling. Like, I think, but also that's what the consumers are telling you right now, because they're not purchasing phones like that. They're like, they're going back to flip phones. It's like, dog, I'm not going back to flipping that shit up and putting it back in my pocket.
Not that far.
No, I'm not doing that.
But I'm not jumping on every new phone trend either.
No, because I don't feel like.
At the end of the day, what is, besides the quality of it, what else am I getting?
Everything is moving towards data, though. And the apps. You know what I mean? Like, the apps and the data, it means something in terms of people getting money and moving things to platforms and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know what you can give me right now that an app wouldn't already give me.
Yeah.
Like, I could check the weather on my shit. I could figure out. Like, I can order a handyman. Like, it connects me with people in my everyday life and shit like that. I can, get somebody to buy items that I have in my house off of the app.
Use it as a paying to pay.
Because you think about it, like 20 years ago, if you would have told, is 20 a good number? Let's say 25 years ago, if you would have said, yo, you can take a photo of something, put it on a web page, and people were going to buy it, not necessarily just like Craigslist or something like that, but you can list it on there or whatever, meet them in a place and talk to them like on an instant messenger, because Craigslist, you have to wait on an email back in the day, but it's like more like an instant messenger. I'd be like, yo, you fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Or Uber, right? Like, yo, like, you're going to order a ride with somebody from your phone and they're going to take you to your destination. Don't worry, it's been vetted.
Yeah. Or I think going up to the freaking cashier and using your phone as the actual debit, like the Apple Pay, Like, that's nuts.
Yeah,
you're using your phone as a debit card.
You're right.
You're using your phone in place of a physical card to make or cash to pay for something.
I was telling my wife too, though. Like, the other thing is like I took payday loans. I've been broke, so I've taken payday loans,
for sure.
And they show you the thing, and you like, oh, $60 ain't bad, but then when you do the percentage is crazy. Because one,
vicious cycle.
You take the payday loan, right, for $150, you got to pay $40 back, right? You in a whole $190. So that $190, whatever you bought, hopefully was groceries, because if not, you're in the whole $190. When your check come, you actually got to pay double that. So it's like, yo, man, like the way that technology is and shit like that right now, I just feel like we've kind of maxed out on what we can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Aside from like I said, like, everything is data driven, sports data driven,
or AI, really
AI driven. But AI in
That's
terms
a
of like,
side of technology.
I actually use AI for Googling now.
Have you started?
I've been on the AI kick
for the research
for ChatGPT because it searches faster than Google can do a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I've been having conversations with my kids about two things. One, these YouTube families that you see, they're not real.
Absolutely not.
And then the second thing is that ChatGPT and all that shit's not real either.
It's still an automated
system. So if
system,
you have a problem or something like that, you need to come talk to me, because my biggest thing is I don't want you going in there asking AI questions and then like that you need to be asking like a human being, because AI is still robotic.
Yeah.
So I think about, like, me and Lex talked about that before you got on the pod. There was a story about a young man. I don't know.
No, we talked
you were
about
there,
it.
huh? Yeah, that was earlier on when you got here though.
And who took his life, and and it's funny because I've been not funny, but it's ironic because I've been encouraging Jaylee to use ChatGPT to help facilitate and foster difficult conversations. So like, hey, is there something that you want to talk to me about, but you don't know how to use the words, or you're nervous to bring it up? And so we've actually been using chat as a tool to facilitate those harder conversations between the two of us.
Yeah.
So I think like everything is a tool. It's how you use it, and especially when it comes to your children, how you are teaching them to use it, So I want Jaylee to be able to take full advantage of technology, but also remember, like, there's nothing that is going to replace a human at the end of the day.
Right. Right, absolutely. I had one more, but shit, we had a great time today, in so many fashions.
Well, it got depressing with all the suicide talk.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a good hour in, though.
That's true.
That was a good hour.
I was like, we're not gonna have any Debbie Downers. We're gonna keep it all fun today.
We was on bullshit for a good hour, and you said when we gonna have a real talk, and I said, probably when we get to this.
I did say we needed some depth,
and we got some depth.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. We started off funny, like real mad funny, because that story was wild. Like, yo,
I
didn't know you was gonna end with like it was the best. I was like, fuck.
I forgot. I told you all the disabled men I fucked.
Yeah. yeah. But I mean, we had a good.
I can't go too long.
Hey man,
we talked about too much shit on here today.
At 36, fam, or 35, you 36, 36 for you, 35 for me. I've learned not to add too much to it now because my body hurt. I don't think I could be on bullshit for too long without running into, hey man, but you know it was real. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I can go that far. So, yo, shout out to all of our older listeners because, like, now I know the young people ain't gonna fuck with me now. I'm past that now, and that's why I told my wife. It's funny because I was like, yo, like I can't go get me a young chick. Like I know dudes like that, but I feel like men go get them a young girl because it's like, yo. The girls that I'm around in my age bracket, they too conscious of my bullshit.
Exactly why. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, like the young girls, they're not
guys are like, the women in the 30s and 40s, they're bitter. Nah, they ain't fucking burnt out from dealing with all the bullshit of men.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing.
They're naive.
What may turn them on, in my mind, like I said, like one of the eye-openers for me in the last year was like, yo, we went back out as a group for the first time. And when old girl was like, "Oh, I like your streetwear," I was like, "I don't have streetwear. I'll probably never get it." And then if you started talking to me about streetwear, I'd probably tell you to get the fuck up out of my face, Stanley. Like on Friday, because like that shit ain't that. Like we not on the same wavelength. So to all my older men out there with these young girls, bless you, bro. You got a lot of patience. But I'm not about to be out here ripping and running and stuff like that. Like doing all that kind of shit. I can't, bro. Like I just can't. Get me a nice. My wife, an older woman that got, some shit to her, some depth.
We're older women, man.
Yeah, I want not older, but just like, mature.
Don't take it back now, mature.
I want a mature woman with
you
some.
just getting worse.
I need that wolf pussy. Nah, I need. Go ahead.
This is how you know we are almost done with this pod.
Listen, let me just tell you, I'm acting crazy right now. You gotta have at least one varicose vein. You gotta have one varicose vein.
First of all,
some cellulite.
Okay.
Absolutely. Stretch
marks.
marks.
For those of you who have not seen Carl's wife, she looks fucking 25.
She's amazing. She has no stretch marks.
She literally is like the cutest, most in shape little thing ever.
She got some cellulite though. I love it. I love my wife. Love her to death. Like, she gonna kill me for saying that, but that's cool. Absolutely. She got some cellulite. I got some cellulite too. Look. For real.
So do I.
Hey, we was out yesterday, and like some dudes was looking at her, right? And again, now I'm at a point where I don't trip. Like it's like cool. That for
you
me.
guys are dating night or something. I saw you guys look good. I saw something on Instagram maybe a week or two.
No, we went to the game. We went to the game.
You guys are good.
But yesterday we was just at the golf course eating, and there was 3 white dudes there, and like the Sean Connery like mid-40 types though.
They was definitely checking.
Yeah.
And was she in her cute little tennis outfit?
She was just wearing leggings. Would do it for anybody, right? So like she was in some leggings, and they was like, "Oh man," and she was like, "Yeah." They signaled over like, "Hey, did you see that?" And I was like, yeah.
They signaled?
Kind of like, hey, you see? I don't do that to other men's wives, but I know, like, certain classes of men don't mind doing that. I just know she don't like white dudes anyway, so I don't feel threatened or nothing like that. Yeah. I usually ask her, like, you think that white guy is cute? Because I want to know what her white dude gauge is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know. But, like, her shit is like, who did she say?
Is she like a Channing Tatum?
No. To her, that would come across as corny.
Because she obviously likes black men, so she's not gonna go for no corny white guy.
Nah, it can't be that. It wouldn't be the ones that also like are more in line with the culture either.
Really? See, that's what I would think.
No, it wouldn't be that one. For her, I think that's like, yo,
might as well get the real deal.
Yeah, it's not authentic.
Yeah. I miss Lex. I wish we could get Lex for one last episode.
Have you talked to him?
No.
Yeah.
But I know the people want to see him come back for one last episode before
shit, that would be great. That would be. He hit. So that's what I'm saying.
You?
No. He hit my mom and my wife up
for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And he ain't shit. I'm glad he hit them.
Never told you.
Yeah, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed.
That's
I'm
crazy.
hella texting him. But I am glad that he hit them.
Absolutely.
That's sweet. Because you guys have had a long relationship.
And then he saw my stepson at a football event.
Did he speak?
Maybe yeah. He played. See, the thing is like the air is so weird
you
between me
there?
and the other side.
No,
he's with his dad at that time.
Okay.
And so they played, like his kids and him, my stepson played together for a little bit. And they hadn't seen each other in a while. Though.
And you haven't seen a game of this? You don't?
I'll probably go to a few, but the thing
have you been avoiding them so you don't see Lex?
No, this is new.
Okay.
So like it's a different league.
Okay.
So the league he's playing in, was playing in, Lex wasn't part of that. He went to go see a game for where he's going to be playing at.
Got it.
And his dad took him there because his dad has football.
Yes.
I have golf.
Yes.
And so there is overlap. Like I'll work on him with football shit or whatever, like routes and stuff, and working on his catching ability. But taking him to football practice during those times are the days that I take my daughter out.
Yes.
So I try not to have overlap. I'm trying to have balance because I don't want them growing up saying, "Oh, you overly invested in this one and not this one."
Yeah, trying to keep it. Yeah, we need the kids to love each other and you.
But if he but see, that's what I'm saying. Today he got humbled a little bit. So I want to see how his demeanor is because lately, the last, let's say 3 or 4 weeks, he's been really engaged in baseball again. But the thing is like there's a dynamic there that's hard to kind of manage. So we'll see because he plays against kids 3 years older than him.
Yeah,
3 years older than him.
In baseball.
Yeah. So, but football, he's playing right at his level. Where it's like a little bit different.
Well, he still needs to develop those skills.
Exactly. So I mean that comes in time. At this point, like I said, I'm not pressed about it. I'm just about them having experiences and being happy because I done met people that play sports that still be down. So it's like
Or the exposure. I wish I would have been exposed to more variety of sports when I was young.
Yeah, that's another thing. You know what? You're right. Shit, we're going to run another conversation. But, like, after I didn't play baseball anymore and I did wrestling, and then, I just started doing other shit, like table tennis, regular tennis, I've always played basketball and shit. Baseball, basketball was always my shit. And then, like, golf. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I tell people, I wish I played golf. Like, how good I am right now at, like, 14, 15, if I acquired this knowledge and my dad and mom gave a fuck about like that, I probably would have went to college.
Even just like, you know how we started surfing and skateboarding? I wish I would have been doing this since I was a kid. I love it so much and I'm so terrible at it that I'm like, man, if I would have been doing this when I was a kid and learned these skills when I was much younger and more durable, and more muscle memory, like, who knows what opportunities it could have opened and I could have been enjoying this, my whole life. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got anything for 3 cheers? I lost the button, so I'm not going to hit it right now. Anything you got? My 3 cheers, just while you think real quick, simple one. Joe Biden was recently diagnosed with a very aggressive prostate cancer. So well wishes to him and his family. Obviously, it doesn't matter what side you on, man. Like, I try not to wish anything ill of the people that try to represent us or that we vote into power. I thought that was pretty, saddening to see. And had he got, reelected or ran for reelection or whatever, that would have been something we would have had to, like, kind of maneuver. Yeah. So it's just one of them things where it's like, damn, that's kind of crazy. So, well wishes to him and his family. No matter how you feel about that, man, you shouldn't, wish anything ill on these people. So, and even with his record prior to, right, I think that people should be able to be forgiven and move forward if they are able to make amends. So,
amen.
Yeah.
3 cheers. You know what? I'm so sad that nothing's coming to mind. I'm sure there's things to be cheersing, but I can't think of anything right now. My bad, y'all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. It's all good. Things will pop in our mind as time comes. I don't know anything about anything that I'm about to be playing. I have not been listening to